So how hard is it to start a podcast? Well, that's actually a very relative term. You tell me how hard is it to start a podcast. Let's go through the basic steps and you'll have a better idea of what to do and what you're going to need to do. By the end of this video, we're going to sort through the different concepts involved. Some of it's pretty easy, some of it not so easy, but that's going to depend on you. The good news is, if you're willing to put in the effort ahead of time and build yourself a good foundation for your podcast, it should be smooth sailing for a very long time. So let's get started. I'm Nic Natarella with AdWise Creative. So how hard is it to start a podcast? Well, like I said, it's a relative question. For me, the technology part is academic. I can push buttons, and if I don't know which button to push, I can look it up and I can find out. I'm one of those rare guys, I'm one of those annoying guys, I should say, that'll actually read the owner's manual. I do that. It annoys my wife to no end. She's like, just push this. I read the manual. Sorry, but I do. So it might take me a little while, but I'll get it. I probably know somebody I can ask. They can show me. I can jump on a YouTube video. I can watch some stuff. I can read some stuff. The technology part, the button pushing part, the editing part, that's the easy part, or that's the part that comes easier for me. It's the planning, the foundational stuff, the stuff, the heady stuff to put on paper first. That's the part that can be, not always, but it can be like pulling teeth for me. If I have to sit down and think this stuff through, that can take a while, and probably the first couple of days, I'm going to pull out my notebook, I'm going to start my pen, and then I should probably go check on something else, right? It's going to be really hard to get me started. So that all depends on where do you lie. Are you the right brain side or are you the left brain side? Do you like the equipment part? Do you like the conceptual part? What is it going to take for you to get up and running? I would strongly suggest you tackle the side that annoys you the most, or that is the most frustrating. There's a very famous book out there called Eat That Frog. Well, I'm suggesting you eat that frog. What's the hard part? Because the rest is going to be coasting, all right? Once you've built up that momentum, it's easy to keep you going. But if you do the easy part, and then you hit a wall, so much for the frog. He's like splattered all over the place, and that's not very appetizing. But if you get past that part, if you do that first and get the momentum, it's easy to skate right on into the part that you enjoy. So first of all, start in the planning. First and foremost, who is your audience? Now, if this is going to be your business podcast, which is what we talk about here, starting a podcast for your business, first of all, it's about your audience. This is not going to be a 15 to 30 minute to 45 minute to 60 minute advertisement for your business. It's not what it's about. What are your clients asking? What do they want to know? If it's a product, how do you use what they're coming to you for? What is it that they're going to buy from you? What's the best way to, how do you get extra out of it? How do you utilize it to the best of its ability? All the features and stuff like that are in it, go over that kind of stuff. That's going to be teaching. That's going to be showing them how to get the most out of their purchase, their investment, whatever it is. For service providers, and this is going to make you very uncomfortable, if you're a life coach, take each individual step of your life coaching philosophy and teach it to them. Yes. Give away the farm. Yes. I'm serious. If you were to turn this into, let's say, a course, a video course, if you break it down into 5, 10, 15-minute segments, what would that look like? And I mean do a deep dive every single time you start the recording. If I were to do it by myself, after watching all of your videos, I should be able to do it by myself and actually have a modicum of success. What's really going to happen is a few people are going to take it, they're going to see your information, and they're going to think, okay, I can do this, and unfortunately they're not going to do anything with it. But the few that really want to see success in their business, they're going to come to you, and they're going to talk to you, and that is how you start a client relationship with them. What kind of format is this going to be? Is this going to be just you teaching? Are you going to have a co-host? Are you going to have you and a guest where you ask questions and maybe demonstrate something from, say, a product rep or something like that? Could it be you, a co-host, and a guest? It could be any number of things. Get that stuff solidified ahead of time. Who's your audience? What did they want to know, and how are you going to deliver it to them? Those are the three biggies to plant a foundation and get it up and running. And the great thing about that is also, when you start to wander off track, you'll know you've wandered off track. You've already set your foundation in all that planning and pre-planning and writing up that you've done. So if you start to stray from that, your audience is going to start to get confused. Bring yourself back in. Those are your guardrails to bring you back in to what your topic was all about in the first place, and that's what was showing you some success. So stick to that format, stick to your topics mostly, and serve your audience. What is it that they're looking for? And you meet them with the answers. Now on the equipment side, yes, you're going to need some stuff. Maybe some microphones, maybe some kind of an interface. Best thing to describe an interface, I'm sure you've seen a soundboard, with all the sliders and stuff like that. An interface is something that just simply takes the microphone, you plug it into the interface, it's able to convert the signal the way a computer wants to hear it, and then it goes into a USB and goes straight into your computer. There you would hit record on the computer, and you're talking in the microphone, and voila, the electronic magic happens and you see the little squiggly line on the screen. That means you're recording. But between the equipment, the microphones, the cables, the interface, all that kind of stuff, the program you're going to use. And then once you've got it recorded, you'll probably be using that program for editing as well, chopping it up, getting rid of the mistakes, making it flow, any background noise that you want to get rid of. Anything from dogs barking to just the simple air conditioner running in the background, or maybe the truck decided to back up right in front of your house with the beep, 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 beep. Whatever it may be, just pause, let it happen. You can cut that out later. But if you're not aware of it, it's going to be a lot harder to get rid of. But that program will help you do that. So all of that stuff, that's the nuts and bolts of it. But without the foundation we talked about earlier, the nuts and bolts really don't matter. This is a very 30,000 foot view of producing a podcast. I do have a few other videos that take a deep dive into other components and editing and stuff like that. If there's something you want to see, if you've got a question about a step, let me know in the comments and I'll get you that answer, maybe even do another video for it. Just let me know, make a note down below. Now, the good news to all of that at the beginning, first of all, do your groundwork. That's a must. After that, the technical side, do it at your own pace. You can make all the mistakes you want in the world. In fact, I would encourage you to make mistakes. I would encourage you to sound terrible, because ultimately you're going to go, ooh, that sounds terrible. And you're going to want to improve. And that's going to be the biggest motivator. Nobody else is going to tell you, oh, that's really bad, you need to fix that. You're going to know when it's really bad, and you're going to be the one who wants to fix it. So get it up and running and get yourself moving forward. That's one of the biggest things about this channel. One of my foundational elements to this channel is doing it inexpensively, immediately, and get you up and running. All of this can get started today. You don't have to wait any longer to get your business podcast up and running. So all the fancy stuff that can come later can come later. Get the basics down pat, and then, add something later. Tweak this. Do a little deep dive into, let's say EQ. Maybe do a little deep dive into compression. Maybe start making some templates or using presets. I've used those terms before, and they are tools to help you accelerate everything. So once you get that stuff up and running, add more, start to build. But the purpose is, if you don't start, there's nothing to build on. How do you expect to improve if you don't have a starting place? So starting your business podcast, here are the top elements that I would focus on. Number one, focusing on your customer. What are they asking? What are they saying? What is it that they're coming to you for? Products, services, coaching, widgets, whatever it may be. Start from their perspective. Number two, answering their questions. Do your SEO research and find out what those top questions are that people are asking about your industry, about your product, about your service. They're out there. You have an answer for them because that's your wheelhouse. The problem is they don't know you exist yet. And that's what we're going to try to do with your podcast. Number three, teach them. Give away the farm. Pull back the curtain and show them what's going on. There is no greater way to build trust than to not have anything hidden. Don't hide it. Put it out there. Let them evaluate it. Let them make their own decisions. If they have any questions, they can ask you. And hopefully you have built up enough street cred with them that they will come to you as their resource to ask those. And Isn't that horrible now that you have a prospective client on the phone? Come on, that's the best phone call to take any day of the week, right? And most importantly, being consistent. If you're going to do a podcast once a week, put it out at the same time every week. Thursdays at 2, Mondays at 8 a.m., Wednesdays at 4 p.m., whatever it's going to be, make sure you have it there and constantly release it at the same time. You're going to get the SEO love over time, and you're going to be essentially training your audience. And they're going to come to expect it and trust you to keep producing it and be consistent with delivery. Now, one of the little tricks that I learned finally over the years is how to talk to my audience, especially when it comes to talking like we are here or on a podcast or maybe even in a sales presentation. And I've got something for you that may help you with that. It's called Engaging Your Audience. The top 3 secrets to skyrocket your podcast success. There's a link down below. Click on it right now and get your free copy to help you set that foundation and get you in the right mindset to be talking to your audience the right way in order to get them to respond to what you're saying. I'm Nic Natarella with AdWise Creative. Thank you for watching.